Hello, my dashers. Zeus and I are here. Lucky's also here. It is Sunday at 7 p.m. So here I am. Yeah, we are just getting ready to, we are getting our things ready to go to Japan. And so we are going through and making an everyday carry for Japan, as well as, getting my day bag, my school bag, because I will be going to Japanese language school. And just posted this week, we posted the ship tour. And yeah, so let's see what we got here. So basically, I posted the ship tour today. Linda, hey, from coastal Texas. Well, you say you're not currently in Texas, but you are in Texas. So this is currently in Texas. How are you? Not currently in Texas, in currently. Yeah, whatever. How you doing, Linda? Hope everything is going good. Yeah, I am, I'm still here. I am at Dasherville today. So this week was a lot better. I came up with a good game plan for the channel. Just got back late last night. Oh, where'd you get back from? Where'd you go? Where were you off to? I had a heck of a week the week before and was sick, and now I'm better now. So I've been very busy planning what I'm going to take to Japan for the month of May, where I will be attending a Japanese language school for 30 days to see if I can keep up. Yeah. Oh, you got back from Spain. Yeah. I just got. Hey, Brenda's in the house. You were in Spain. Oh, that's right. Were you in Barcelona like the day after I left or something like that? Me in Barcelona. I had a great time in all of the other cities that I visited. Well, Gibraltar is in the UK. Lisbon and Cadiz was in Portugal. So I did Cartagena, Palma de Mallorca, and Malaga. I was in Malaga. And finally Barcelona. Barcelona and I didn't mix, as you know why. I saw your ship tour video. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't get any of the footage from the back of the ship, which was the 270 Royal Theater, the Flow Rider, the iFly, the Rockwall, the Skypad. That was in the phone that got pickpocketed. So, and it hadn't uploaded to the cloud yet. So, unfortunately, I was not able to give a full ship tour. But since the first video of us leaving New Jersey had the cabin tour, and then what I had left from, what I had uploaded was basically, what I have. The next video coming out will be the stops that we had, because again, most of the footage was taken in my phone that got pickpocketed in Barcelona. I lost probably about 80% of my footage from the whole trip. And so that just reminds me that every night I have to upload everything. So what I have in the cloud is all that I have, and it isn't much. So the next video is going to be a compilation of the Azores, and I have Lisbon, Portugal, a lot of footage on Lisbon, Portugal. I have some footage from Cartagena, from Gibraltar, from Malaga, and Cadiz, and Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca, and some from Barcelona. I got Barcelona on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So unfortunately, 80% of my footage that I took from the places that we ported, that we were in port, got stolen from pickpocketers. So I'm just going to do a video of all of the ports that I visited, of what footage I do have. It isn't much. I have a lot on the Azores and Lisbon and Cadiz, but other than that, I have some here and some there. It's not enough to really make a video of itself. So I will just kind of push them all together in the ports that we visited. It kind of stinks, but what are you going to do? Yes, you got to Barcelona for one, and I left Barcelona. Oh, and you walked the Camino. That's right. How was that? I got pickpocketed in Barcelona. My iPhone 17 Pro Max got pickpocketed. And, I had to do my wonderful police report and everything else. Luckily, I knew exactly when he got it. So within 2 minutes of it being stolen, I was able to lock the phone down. And so they didn't get any information or any credit card or bank or anything. Everything got suspended on the phone immediately. So by the time he stopped running, it was already locked. So because I had my iPad and my computer with me, so I just hopped on and locked everything. But he took the footage. There's nothing I can do about that. I couldn't get the footage back. So unfortunately, pickpocketed, seasoned traveler. Yeah, there'll be a video coming out about what to do if you get pickpocketed in Barcelona or just pickpocketed in general. I knew exactly the minute it happened, the second it happened. He bumped into me and then started running, and I knew it was gone. I was stupid. I let my guard down for a minute. I knew better. Usually at the time I was wearing my down puffy jacket, and usually I unzip it. I put my phone in the inside and zip it all the way back up. I didn't do that. I put it in my pocket and didn't zip up my pocket. And I knew it. Like I said, the second he started running, I knew what had happened. I was dumb, but I acted quickly. I shut the phone down immediately. So by the time he stopped running, which the phone last being pinged was about 5 minutes away, it was already shut down. So that's what happened in Barcelona. Hey, Rick's on the house, my Canadian friend. Hi, Rick. I know. But I do have some, so I am going to post that. And so what I decided, see, the channel hadn't had any structure at all. So I finally figured out a system that is going to work for me. And so I am going to make Mondays my complete edit days for the whole entire week. So that means I'll have 2 videos, all my shorts, everything scheduled. And that way I have the week to do what I need to do, but Monday is going to be my editing day. So during the week I can film whatever, but my editing day completely is going to be Monday, because Monday night I have a Japanese class with the Japanese American Society of Houston. And, I'm going through this book right now, Japanese for Busy People. And this, I'm in the second session of 5. So I will be still attending that while I go to Japanese school in Japan. So I will be doing double classes. But that's only once a week for 2 hours. And so that's on Monday nights. So I figured instead of me going out and doing Uber Eats or anything else like that and running around and filming and this and that, I'm going to make Monday my editing day. So Tuesday, I'm going to have a new section called Tech Tuesday. So I have a lot of tech that is new, like my new Hover, which is like a drone, but it's a self-flying camera. So I don't need a drone license for it or anything else. I'm going to sell my DJI drone and everything else, and I'm going to just keep my Hover. It does a zoom out, does an orbit, does a bird eye, and it does a follow me and a dolly, and basically that's it. And honestly, that's all you really use anyways in YouTube videos. So it's not a drone, it's a self-flying camera. So I'm going to do that as a Tech Tuesday. And so anything tech, I'm going to do that. And also I'm getting ready for my Japan trip. So I'm going to be doing shorts about, this is my everyday carry pouch for Japan. So what's in my bag? I'll do a short for what's in my bag so you can see all the little tech stuff I have in here as well. Like this is a good tech item. You're probably looking, what the heck is that? It's actually a universal cord. Instead of bringing a whole bunch of cords, I can bring this. And this has 9-pin on one. Pull it, and then you've got USB-C, USB, USB-C, and it actually tells you how much the wattage is going through. And yeah, it's a small cord, but honestly, when you have a power bank on one and you have the other on whatever you need, it's great to have. So something like this is great because I don't have to look for cords anymore. I just use this. And then it goes back on. Voila. So this will be a Tech Tuesday item, as well as, I bought my Anker 10,000 milliamp hour mini. Anker is the only one that I trust for power banks, for extra power banks. So this is my 10,000 milliamp hour. What I like about it is it's got a 2.5-foot cable, USB-C. So this is perfectly enough to charge a computer or anything on the go, my phone, and it's very compact. So again, Tech Tuesdays, I have a lot of tech that I can go over. So I'm going to make sort of like a section for Tech Tuesdays to go over the tech that I have and that I use. And of course, have Amazon links for everything. I also, I'm getting ready for my school. So I've got my Osprey 18-liter backpack for my school books and things. I have an everyday carry pouch, a day pack, a day pouch, again, my everyday carry. Then I have an everyday carry for just tech, like this would be in it, and some other accessories. So again, that'd be a Tech Tuesday. So what do you think about that? I think that would be great because it's so tough to put tech in along with a video. And I have a lot of tech to share that works for me, especially traveling, especially as a nomad. Um, like things in here have to do double duty because just in van life, if it doesn't do double duty or something that is useful, it doesn't go in the bag. And I've got a lot in here. And so the what's in my bag for packing for those are going to be like shorts, getting ready for Japan. And then when I'm in Japan, it'll be language school and things like that. I think the next one, though, next week, I'm going to do a compilation of all of the ports that I was in for the ship. And that should round out the cruise part of it, which kind of stinks. Let's see. Enjoying what you had. What a drag. The crook stole your cell phone. I know. But it's, you don't run after a crook, because you don't know if there's a gang just around the corner ready to harm you or take more from you or what. You let them go. Your phone's gone. It's not, your life is not worth a phone. I luckily just acted quickly to shut the phone down completely. Because the minute that it is lost or stolen, your Apple Pay shut down, it's locked, it's, you have to have, luckily, I had the two-step verification on my phone, which means, yes, you might get the password, but you need the biometrics in order to unlock the phone. So you either have to have my fingerprint or my face. And obviously, they're not going to have that. And the minute that it gets to a Wi-Fi signal, it will erase. I have it set to erase immediately, everything on the phone. So luckily, like I said, within 2 to 3 minutes of him running, I ran up into my hotel room and was able to lock the phone. So after 5 minutes of him running, and its last ping location where he shut off the Find My phone, and yeah, he couldn't get anything. Yeah, it is. It's ugly right now. It really is. But again, never chase after a thief. And I'll be putting a video out after the cruise stuff about all of this, where, what to do if you get pickpocketed in Barcelona. Even if you see them. Like, I knew the second when he started running that my phone was gone. So I knew exactly what to do, how to lock it down, how to get, and then I made a police report immediately. So, like, within 15 minutes, I was at the police station, reporting it. Should say really 10 minutes, because the police station was the next block over. Talk about like bold. This guy was bold. But crooks are that way. You outsmarted and something went wrong and you handled it. He stole the dead cell phone. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I knew exactly, and yeah, I could have ran after him, but as I said, your life's not worth a cell phone. You don't know. If they always work in groups, especially in Barcelona, they work in groups. They have a cell, or they have, a territory or whatever. So they're on drugs, they're doing their thing, whatever, but you don't know if they are working in a group or not. And you turn a corner and there's 8 of them, and to your one, you're going to be harmed. Let it go. Let it go. Nothing you can do. Just, I luckily knew immediately that it was gone. So I immediately rushed back into the hotel to shut the phone down. And yeah, you're right. He has a brick, but they can sell it on the back market for parts or, this or that. And it's funny because I did get my replacement, and my replacement came in a brown little bag or brown little box, not an Apple box. Um, and it was from India. Wasn't from China. It wasn't from the US, or it wasn't from Silicon Valley, from India. And the person who stole the phone actually was of Middle Eastern descent. And I'm like, really? Really? Luckily, though, like I said, I had purchased the theft and loss. I never thought I'd ever use it. I never bought it before. I never used any insurance or anything like that on any of my Apple products because I'm always really careful about it. And the minute that I let my guard down, it was gone. So that was my fault. I should have did, and knowing what Barcelona is, being the pickpocket central between Barcelona and Paris, these are the two that are insane. And I chose to let my guard down at that time. So that was my bad. I'm an experienced traveler. I knew better. So yeah, he had saw me in the courtyard having a cigarette, checking out maps of where I was going to go for the day. And he came up on me pretty fast, asking for a light. And I put my phone in my side pocket versus my inside pocket. And normally I would just inside pocket and then give him a light. I let my guard down. And then he started crazy, bumped into me, and took off. So that's when I knew. I didn't even have to look in my pocket. I knew it was gone. So I ran directly back into the hotel and shut it down. So your cell phone is just a thing. Things can be replaced. Exactly. And that's what I did. I got it replaced. And yeah, it was a week later. Like I said, I had to pay an extra $150. It was $158, I think, for the insurance. And I paid $150 for a replacement. But it's better than paying the $1,700 or $1,800 that it was when I bought it brand new from the store, from Apple. So what I got was in a brown box from India. It was really weird, but I registered it with Apple, got my phone numbers transferred. Luckily, I had my old phone, my iPhone for 13 Pro Max. So I transferred the phone numbers off of the other phone immediately as soon as I got back. And so they couldn't have access to any of my cellular data and my eSIMs that I had on it. Well, they couldn't anyways because the phone was locked. But if they hacked into it at some point or whatever, they still would get nothing. So the minute it touches any kind of Wi-Fi, it's wiped. Luckily, you got the insurance. I did. And I thank God, like I said, I paid $150, but I got I got my iPhone 17 Pro Max back. Granted, not with all the photos and everything I had from the trip, but I did get the phone back. So voila, here it is. Thank God, because I couldn't afford another $1,700 for another phone. So the $150 I spent for the insurance plus the $150 to get it was well worth it. I never thought I'd ever use it, but I decided that I just got the phone in January. So for it to be stolen in March, it kind of sucked. Hadn't even had it for 3 months. But what are you going to do? It happened. Oh well, move on. Right? Hey, Elsa, how are you? Belle, hi, hi, hi. Everybody saying hi. It kind of is sickening that it happened, but it wasn't because it was my fault. I knew better. I knew I'm an experienced traveler. I let my guard down. That was my bad. Um, I knew what to do. I shut it down immediately, and then within 10 minutes, I was in the police station making a police report, describing the guy, what had happened, everything like that. And luckily, it was funny because it happened at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and was planning the day because I was going to go to El Sagrado La Familia, the Basilica, the Olympic Village, all the castles and the parks, and do all this, La Rambla, and it kind of I kind of lost the luster. I was so mad because I ended up going on the city tours bus, the hop on hop off city tour buses, because honestly, like in port, that's what I did, because you can see the whole thing in a short amount of time. I mean, you get on into port at 8 o'clock in the morning and you have to be back on ship by 4:30. If you were to walk everything, or do a little bit of it, you wouldn't see everything. So having a hop on, hop off is great because you get to see everything and then go back and see what you really want to explore. And so that's what I did for most of all of the stops that we did in Spain. The only time I didn't do it was Gibraltar, because honestly, Gibraltar is a rock. It's a rock. It's UK. They had UK pounds and everything else. And I'll show you tips and tricks about how to. At first, when I went to the Azores, I was looking for a currency exchange. I went to a currency exchange, and believe it or not, they ran out of money. But if you have a credit card, like I have the Chase Sapphire, Preferred Sapphire card, as well as Venture X from Capital One, and those don't charge international fees when you um, make purchases, but also your debit card from your actual checking account. I have a bank, I think it was, I have enough in the bank at B of A where they don't charge me ATM fees and even international ATM fees. So getting money out of an ATM is cheaper than doing a currency exchange. So I found that out. So getting pounds and euros was very easy to get. And I'll be doing that in Japan also, to get Japanese yen. So, yay. So, yeah, do you speak Spanish? No, I don't speak Spanish. I used Google Translate, but most most individuals spoke French, which I do speak, or some sort of English. And so I was still able to communicate a lot with shop owners, um, because I can speak French. So I was better off than most Americans who don't know any other language. Um, yeah. So I really didn't have that much. And I did have Google Translate if I really got stuck, if I really wanted to express something. But for the most part, they either spoke English or French. And so I had no problem, throughout any of my stops, which is good. Thank God. um, when I go to Japan, I do speak some Japanese, um, because like I said, I've been going to classes. I know more than I can speak because growing up, my mother is full, born and raised in Japan. And when a Japanese mom yells at you or speaks to you, that's the only time she ever spoke to us in Japanese was when she was mad. And so when that happens, you know immediately to just zip your mouth. So that's not a way to learn Japanese because you can't talk back. I knew what she was saying. I know the vocabulary and all of that, but not knowing how to respond because you're not allowed to speak back. So that's where I'm lacking. Also, I didn't know how to read or write hiragana or katakana. I know hiragana now 100%, and I'm almost 100% with katakana. And it's amazing because I just looked at a Japanese site today and I was able to read and understand um some of the website without the translation. So I'm pretty happy about that because I've never been able to read any of it. And now being able to look and pick words out that go, oh, they're talking about this or they're talking about that. And so I'm pretty excited that I'm actually learning something. um, Japanese is a very tough language because it depends on who you're talking, whether they're older than you, whether they're younger than you, whether they're a coworker or a boss or a friend or family. It all depends on situations. And so, yeah, it's definitely a different language to learn, but there is still particles and nouns, verbs, adjectives, and where to put them and how the sentences are structured. There is, future perfect, perfect. There is grammar, that it has, and nothing has ever really broken it down for me. And now I've been going through these classes, and it's made me realize how much there is really structure to the language. And learning it is such an enlightening thing for me. I only wish I would have done it when my mom was still alive. um the only problem is I know my dad had tried for years and he knew a lot of vocabulary and everything else, but my mother was very picky. If it wasn't said exactly right, she'd be all over it. Like, no, you can't say that, you have to say this way. And very hard. Um, and when you're learning a language, they kind of, if you they understand you, you're good to go. If you make an attempt to even know, it might not be right. Most Japanese people will correct you nicely. They won't be rude about it. But, it's this, not this. It's okay. You meant this, right? Or that. That's no problem, or this. Um, so I'm pretty excited. I think the full immersion is going to be an interesting thing for 30 days where it's going to be the classes are all in Japanese. There's no English spoken. There's no other language but Japanese. That's it. So the class is completely in Japanese, which is nice because even in beginning, they slow it down. So it's not so fast. And so they slow it down so your brain can catch up to what they're saying because they're understanding that you're translating it for yourself. Now, when you get into more advanced conversational or when you get into a more higher level, then the expectation is you become fluent, which means they'll be, blah, 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 and right now, oh God, no. I always have to say, please, can you say that one more time? And usually when you ask to say it one more time, they'll slow it down so you can understand. I can understand it at least. So yeah. Uh Same in other. Same laughing in other. Did I miss it? No. But yeah, so I am currently going through everything. Oh yeah, this is next in the cruise. You all have seen the new look. Um, completely cut my hair. You saw the video where it has my hair going all over the place because I had so much of it. I hadn't cut it in God like 6 years. Um, yeah, since cancer. That was all the cancer growth and the gray hair and everything else. They did a really good job. I got this done on the ship, and the beautician was a guy from India. His name was Shaitan, and they did an awesome job with the hair. I think it's a great length. I still can put it back if I need to because summer is coming. I said, I don't care how short it is as long as I can still put it in a ponytail and off my neck in the summer. So this is what he gave me. And I wanted a red kind of color so I don't have any more grays. And this is what happened. I think it looks good. Oh, same in another language. Yeah. I know. That's so I got this done on the ship. Now, I think I got it done on like day 5 of the ship. So for 5 days, I go to the casino with a friend of mine who got me to go on this trip, and she got her pinnacle, which is the highest like level of um, the Crown and Anchor Society. She finally made pinnacle after 9 years. Anyway, so she there was a friend that always played this one machine, and I'd gone down there and, hey, Arena, how you doing? I find that a lot of Europeans went on this transatlantic. They had a 14-day Caribbean cruise and then ended up in New Jersey. They did a back to back. So they ended up taking that 14-day, going to New Jersey. There was probably about 150 to 200 people that were back to back. So they all got let in to get back on the ship to their rooms, and they went on for the 15 transatlantic. Now most of the clients on this transatlantic were European. I think I might have seen 3 families with smaller kids. Other than that, there was mostly seniors or retired people, my age. There weren't that many that were like in their 20s. um like I said, maybe a couple families. There was like 3 families, and there was probably about 5,000 people on the ship. Yeah, no, 4,000. The capacity is like 5,500 on the ship for the Odyssey of the Seas. We weren't at 100%, but we were close. So I think we were 4,800. I think they said. And anyways, I got this done on this day. The first 4 days she'd seen me in the casino. I'm like, hey, Arena, hi, hi, hi. So when I got this done, I walked the deck and I'm like, hey, Arena. And she looked at me like, who the heck are you? I don't know you. I've never talked to you. And, it's 5 days and I don't know who you are. And I'm like, Arena, it's me. It's me, Lisa. And she looked at me like, oh my God, you lost 15 years. I didn't even know who you were. I laughed so hard. I couldn't believe it. It was funny. She's like, seriously, I did not know who you were. Holy cow. You look so much younger. Oh my Lord. Too funny. Ah, thanks. I look marvelous. A little change, a little change. I actually love it. I had black hair or brunette hair. This is like I said, it's a little bit of red, but he evened out my hair very nicely where it doesn't look like it's a clown. Um, if you looked at my tour video, you could see I had brown, I had black, I had gray. I had like, a tail going on three different colors. My hair was just crazy. It was way, way too long from the windy part of the ship tour. So I think you did a great job. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Tap the like. Yay. Looks good. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think it's a better look for me. The other, my hair was misshapen and everything else, and I really didn't do anything with it. I hadn't cut it since I grew it back from cancer, so it was a big thing. It was great because he took my hair like in a big thing like this and went boom. Then he took the thing and he went to the trash can and went boom. And I'm like, oh my god. It's something to see, like, a whole like tail. He just grabbed a whole bunch and went, "Boop." Oh my god. Um, but I think it turned out well. It's definitely a lot nicer, especially with summer coming. I sweat a lot and I don't like it. I hate it actually. I'd rather be cold than hot because you can always put layers on. But in summertime when it's hot and humid and everything else, it just stinks. So I always have my hair up. The one thing I can't stand is having my hair matted on my back of my neck. So I said, I don't care what you do as long as I can put my hair up in the back off my neck because um in the summertime I cannot deal with that. And that's what he did. So he did exactly what I wanted. And I wanted to go purple because y'all know I love my purple. But they didn't have purple on the ship. So I went with the brightest color they had, which was red. And isn't bad. It's not like in your face, but it's definitely red. Doesn't look it, but it does. I'm actually glad I got it done. Yes, I spent money, but I I don't do it often and I should start taking better care of myself and my hair. I just didn't care. I didn't care about the gray hair. I didn't care about whatever, but so many people had commented how younger I look because I actually take the time for it. So, and when I really put on my makeup and everything with the eyelashes and everything, y'all don't even know me. Yes, purple. Oh, yes, I have. I Here's the thing. I am 59 years old. So having the fairy hair or the tail hair like Alyssa Liu, um, she had the blonde and the black and the blonde and the black, that's the tail. See, I think they called it the coon tail. Um, because they had definite lines and everything else. I'm 59. Not trying to be in my 30s or in my 20s anymore. Um, I would have gone just purple. What I used to do is just this part here, I would dye purple, completely purple, like purple, purple. And then see what happens is because I was working in the corporate world, I could have easily hit it with the other hair like this, and nobody would have known. And so, but when you put it all up in a hair like this, it all ends up looking purple. I love purple, my purple hair. And I thought, hey, I've got gray hair. It's great. That's the best time to do it because I have mostly gray hair on my head. Let me just do the purple and, it'll be like an ombre, right? Yeah, well, they didn't have purple. So I had to go for red because I needed something done. And I knew that when I got back to the States, I wouldn't take the time to do it. So I had the time. When you're on a transatlantic for 7 days in the open seas, there's after the first like 2 days of sleeping, it's not really much more to do. Yes, there are things to do on the ship. They have scavenger hunts, trivia. They have I was actually in the guest choir. They did a guest choir where, we met 4 times and did 3 songs, and we had a choir, that we had a performance and everything. Which of course the, pickpocketers got. So, but in the music hall, we had rehearsals 4 times during the time. We had a performance and everything else in 270. All of the stuff that, I had filmed was gone. But they had guest choir, which normally they don't have. It was very windy and blustery and rainy and nasty, and the ship was a rocking, like really rocking, for 6 of the 7 days while we were at sea. Waves were at like 14 feet. So that I luckily do not have motion sickness. So it was like rocking me to sleep. But others, man, they were down in Dramamine like they were candy. And doing whatever they needed to do for motion sickness. I'm lucky I don't get that. So it was a nice lulling rock of the boat for 6 days out of the 7. We had one good day where it was pretty smooth sailing, but the 7 days was pretty much rocking. And, it was funny because the first couple of days you see people running into the walls because they haven't gotten their sea legs yet. Because you learn to walk with the boat and not trip over anything or run into the walls or anything like that. So if you saw the old man in this ship tour, the old man at the Teppanyaki, he ran into the wall because like that was filmed on like day 2. So he wasn't used to the waving yet. Just reminding me that the ship's doctor told me that I'm not 20 anymore. Yeah. Not 20 anymore. I'm sorry, but it is true. Not 20 anymore. I'm 59. Next year I'll be 60. Wow. 60 years old. So I'm not young. I'm not trying to be young. I'm not one of those I'm 60 but feel like I'm in my 20 and 30. No, I feel 60 sometimes. Do I feel like I'm 60 all the time? No. I still like to have some style in some, but I'm not anymore like wild child anymore. Would have been nice to have purple, but not saying. Uh like duh. Yeah, no kidding, right? Not 20 anymore. Duh. Hey, Graham's in the house. Hey, Graham. What's up? What's up? My friend from down under. I slept and fell in Central Park. Oh, no way. I slipped and fell in Central Park. I'm already 60. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it gets a rocking. And, if you don't have your sea legs, you gotta, we call them sea legs, but definitely be careful because I've seen, they had a lot of alphas because, like I said, most of the clientele on this transatlantic was retired, older adults, those that are in their late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And they're actually, I hate to say this, but they did have a death on ship, which was 2 doors down from me, from my cabin. They gave, and the only reason why I know is because they gave the same respect to that individual that they did my mother. And so, and then when the hallway was free to go, they actually had a plastic lock with a lock on the door itself. So I think for investigation or for whatever they needed to wrap up. But apparently they must have had somebody who had passed away that was 2 doors down or 2 cabins down from mine. Yeah, it was not, seeing that just was like a reminder of my mom, because that Odyssey of the Seas, the ship that I was on, was the one that my mother had passed on. So it took me a long time to go into the casino bathroom because that's where she ended up passing. And in fact, the first 3 days, the one stall was a handicap stall. She had a scooter that she could put in there, was actually out of service for the first 3 days. So I wasn't able to get in there until like the 4th day to make sure that she wasn't still there, or to say that I'm okay, that, Deb and I are fine, move on, just to make sure that she wasn't still there. But I know that somebody had passed away, like I said, because they gave them the same respect that they gave my mother. And, you can't ask for anything more than that. Unfortunately, it does happen, and as far as my mom, she had the trifecta. She loved cruising, she loved gambling, and she loved her daughters, and she had all three. So she had the trifecta. If I was going to go, I'd want to go the same way. Quick, easy, and doing what I love. And honestly, I think that is the best way. Oh, Jackie, remember I told you guys about the girl who made Pinnacle the highest level of loyalty program within Royal Caribbean? This is her, Jackie Picasso. She was the one that prompted me to get on this transatlantic. So yeah, that Jackie. Hey, Jackie. Woo! I miss you too, girl. Yeah, I told her about my phone being stolen in Barcelona. On deck 8, it wasn't rocking. It was, oh no! But it got bad a couple of days later. Oh, I gotta tell you, the medical facility though on the ships are insane. Um, like they had an ICU unit, they had actual rooms, it looked like an actual hospital down in the medical bay. It really did. They had the morgue was there. They showed us the morgue and mom and everything. We were able to say goodbye and all that kind of stuff. It was insane, but it's a full medical facility down there. Like, no lie. Unfortunately, are you better? I hope you're better. Building another house. So the bride's happy picking colors and styles. She'll go to town next Friday to pick up the towels she made up and very excited. Or cruise is in early July. Yay! See, it won't be so bad because you're gonna still be close to inland. You'll still be rocking though, but it won't be as bad as if you're in the open sea like I was. Um, 6 out of the 7 days we were constantly 14-foot waves. The winds were insane. I don't know, I think they were 15 or 20 miles an hour on deck. I mean, it was insane. Insane. Jackie, what's the trick to get Pinnacle? Gamble a lot and cruise a lot. That's what it is. I mean, she was on the cruise. God, she was on ship for a long time. She'd go on ship for like 3 weeks here, come home for a week, 4 weeks next, come home for a week or 2 weeks, and then go for another week there, a week and a half there, do a back-to-back here. You know, but it's all casino offers and things like that. So, yeah. A lot of cruising and gambling. See, so I told you. Just said the same thing. A lot of it was casino offers. And gambling. And taking an interior room still gets you two cruise nights if you travel alone. If you have a junior suite, that's 3 cruise nights. So you end up getting the cruise nights pretty. I mean, I have 305. Do you think I did 305 nights? No. I probably maybe did 175, maybe 200. No. Yeah, maybe 200. So I got an extra 100 or some odd nights of, extra because I travel alone. You get an extra cruise night if you travel alone. Do you get points for gambling? Well, what you do is you get points. It's $5 for every 1 point. If you get 2,500 points on Royal Caribbean in the casino, then you can drink in the casino bar for free. I never pay for a drink package again. If I want a drink, I'll go to the casino bar and get a drink, and I won't have to pay for it. But I'm also a Diamond Plus member, and I get 5 certificates anywhere on the ship for a drink. So I don't drink, I drink soda. So what I would do is I ask for 2 and I bring them up to the room, come back down, half an hour later, get 2 more, so I would stock up my own, cabin fridge with soda. But if I wanted a drink, which I think, Jackie, didn't I have a couple of Baileys? I think I did. Couple of Baileys and Irish cream, just a frou-frou drink or a Bloody Mary or something like that. I don't drink often, but I could. I get bottles of wine in my room from the casino, everything else. So yeah, it's gambling. Yep, you do. And if you get 25,000 points, you get signature. And if Jackie's at 100,000 for masters, because Jackie, because she's been on all these cruises, ended up getting masters as well as Pinnacle. So she has masters in the casino and Pinnacle for the Crown and Anchor Society. Yeah, so it's 100,000 points. Now that means it's $500,000, $500,000 gambled for the year, and the year starts April 1st. So it's April 1st to March 31st of the following year. So you have to get those points. So, but 500,000, it's not like really what you spend. I mean, you spend and then you win some and you play that back. You win some, you pay, you play it back. It's a constant, depending if the machines are really hitting, then, you could walk out there with only getting like 13,000 points for like $1,500. So it depends. We are degenerates. Yeah, we are. I actually got signature on this cruise. Can you believe it? For this year, I got signature. Oh my god, $25,000. Yeah, I'm a degenerate. Yes, I am. We have a balcony for the first cruise because the bride doesn't like the idea of an inside cabin. If we decide to longer cruises, I think we should look at the inside cabins, the price difference. Yeah, it's cheaper on the inside cabin. And honestly, okay, here's the deal. I've cruised on a lot of the ships from Royal Caribbean. So I don't need to go exploring. I know what's there. If I want to go do something, I know what to do. There is a ton of things to do on ships. There's trivia, there's scavenger hunts, there's, you can watch the game in the sports bar, you can do casino, you can do sports bars or sporting events, you can do mini golf, you can go see a movie, you can, rock climb, you can water slide, you can do, lay out and read a book. Uh, More than likely, you will not be in your cabin. Okay, if you're a first time cruiser or a new cruiser, okay, you will not be in your room. So having an interior room is just a place for you to sleep and shower. That's it. And keep your things. So you'll be out on the ship doing stuff. And when you get to port, you're gone on port. You're doing your stuff. So an inside cabin, don't knock it. It's cheaper than any of the other rooms on the ship. I, on the other hand, love the balcony because I don't do this stuff on the ship anymore. I've been on those ships. I've been on most of the ships of Royal Caribbean that go out of Galveston or Port Canaveral or Fort Lauderdale or Miami. The only ones I haven't is Icon of the Seas, that kind of class, or the Star. Um, that is the only class of ship I have not been on that I will be booking. And so that is, what do you call it? I think Icon is coming in 2027 to Galveston. So I will be taking that at that time. So let's see. Other than that, I usually stay in the room. I'll read a book or I'll edit or I'll walk around, to film, but then I'd come back and edit or just sit on the balcony and read a book. And I like the waves. It's quieter and so on and so forth. But like on this transatlantic, I had a balcony room, but it was so windy. You couldn't sit out there. You really couldn't. Until we got to Spain. It was a little bit better because we were at port, so I could go, but then you've got the city noise and everything else, and it's not the same as actually listening to the waves. So, yeah, inside cabin, don't knock it. It is cheaper. It is better than just, because you will be out exploring the ship. You will be out seeing the shows. You will be out watching a movie or going into the pool or doing the slides or a scavenger hunt or trivia or dancing. Our friend Gabby, man, she danced every single night. You could always count that she'd be in the music hall dancing her butt off every single night. I think she got sick though. She got sick for the first 2 or 3 nights, and then she danced her butt off every single night after that. But yeah, don't knock the interior. So I'm glad you made it before all the perks got. I know. Oh my god. Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean has been taking out has making the rewards a little bit more than they used to. So yeah. We're on the Carnival Splendor going to Morton Island just off of Brisbane. Carnival's great. Carnival Splendor. I remember Splendor. I didn't my first cruise ever was Carnival Cruises, and I had a bad experience with them because we paid a premium price for it, and the ship, I think, was going into dry dock, so they stripped the ship, like entirely stripped the ship. There was hardly anything there. And so um I just didn't get a good feeling, and there were a lot of partiers, and I was a family. My son, I think, was like 3 when we went, very young, and it just wasn't the right vibe for a family. And since going on Royal Caribbean, that's my cruise line. They have sister ship with Celebrity and Jackie. Do they have MSC also? I think it's Celebrity and MSC that are the sister ships that share loyalty programs within each other. But yeah, if you like Carnival, awesome. I just had a bad experience with them, but it doesn't mean that you won't. Gabby said she misses you, so we need to find another one altogether. I know. I still got to book that certificate, my junior suite. So I'll get in touch with you. Are you in town? Because I could really go for Caspian right now. Yeah, she's based in Houston as well. That's why she could go on these cruises all the time. But anyways, oh my God, guys, we are over an hour. Holy crap! Sorry about that. Talking about the cruises and everything else. I am going to so it's come down to this. All right. Monday is going to be my editing days. Tuesday, I'm going to have a video about Tech Tuesday, so something tech. I'll be going over my self-flying camera for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'll have a short. So I might do a what's in my bag for Japan, or packing tips for this, that, or the other thing. And then I will do Thursday, another short or post. Friday will be the video for all the cruise, like all the ports. I'm going to put all the ports in one because I don't have enough footage for each one to be its own. So I will cut down the Azores, I will cut down Lisbon, and then add whatever I can for Cadiz, Gibraltar, Cartagena, um, Malaga, Mallorca, and Barcelona. So those are all of the ports that I visited. So that is how it's going to go. And then Saturday, I'll probably do a post or a short. And then Sunday, we'll do the live. What do you think? I think that's a pretty good idea. At least that's what I'm going to try. I think that is the best way to go. Now that I have some sort of plan in place, I think it's going to be better because on Monday nights I have school. So in order that way, Tuesday, and then I'll schedule everything out for that once I edit it through, and then I'll have the week to do Uber Eats or stuff to get monies for my upcoming Japan trip. So that pretty much wraps it up for this week, guys. I love cruising. As you know, that's what Lisa Solo Travels is. It's van life, cruising, and international travels. I think that pretty much rounds me out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the ship tour of what I had, because I couldn't do the full ship tour because the thieves took the rest of it. So I will be putting up the destinations. And I will put, what do you call it? Like breaks sections in it so you can see which is which. Like I said, I don't have many. I actually got to see cherry blossoms in Cadiz, and it was beautiful. And I actually do have that footage. Um, but I, didn't get the basilica. I didn't get a lot of the footage that I had on the phone. It kind of breaks my heart. Uh, I'll post what I can. And that's all I can do. And then that will wrap up the cruise segment for the transatlantic. Then we continue to do Tech Tuesday and shorts of what's in my bag or packing lists for Japan or tips and tricks. Or I will also be doing a video on the pickpocket event after next week. So that will be the next video, is pickpockets and what to do if you get pickpocketed in Barcelona or Paris. What you should do immediately. And I think that's a very good safety one to have. So other than that, thanks guys. I appreciate y'all coming out. Yes, we need to go to Caspian. Caspian is an Iranian restaurant that has some Iranian dishes that I love. Yes, I know about what's going on in Iran right now, but that doesn't mean the people are different than the government. Remember that. Okay, we'll talk about Toon Cruise and hopefully plan some. Okay, absolutely. I've got to book it. I think it was the 27th is when it's the certificates due. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate you. Have love. Gives me a thumbs up before you leave. Do appreciate it because that helps out me in the channel. Thank you so much. And guys, I will see you next week on the live. And as always, stop dreaming, start living it. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.